A lot of people go out there and they ask us, man, why y'all go so hard on the nationality, and why is that important? And why do I need to understand who I am before that? Like, isn't that old? Isn't that why we need that information? Why is that such a prevalent issue amongst you Israelites? That's why you're labeled black identity extremists. Why is black identity? And see, Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. And see, we don't understand that this problem, we have never answered this. Over 4 centuries, and we haven't answered this question. Who are you? Where are you from? What is your culture? Pre-slave trade. What were your ancestors doing? Who are your forefathers? And say that's why we getting tossed to and fro. And that is why one of the main issues, one of the beginning things that Israelites out there on the streets are actually trying to teach is to show you who you truly are according to the scriptures, right? Because this problem has plagued us, and before we can have liberation, before we can have any mental reformation, before we can have any freedom or even begin the process from breaking ourselves away from the system of racism, white supremacy, we must understand who we truly are, and we must hearken and go back to the roots of that, right? We must bethink ourselves. We must reform the mind instead of sitting back, letting on our mind to be programmed, allowing our mind to be manipulated into effeminate men, into whorish women, into irresponsible fathers, right? Irresponsible mothers, single parenthood. Instead of us being manipulated into bad education, bad credit, let us reform our mind and understand who we truly are, and be manipulated into becoming God's chosen nation of people, God's elect. So we're going to look at a couple clips. This one clip is from a speech that James Baldwin did. The great writer James Baldwin. Dick Gregory was also there, and a question was asked to James Baldwin. And then Dick Gregory going to try to answer the same question. Let's look at this.
Why do you call him a Negro? Why don't you just call him a black man? There is no country of the Negro. Do you know that?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
So why do you call him Negro and not black man?
Can I try to explain that?
Yes, you can.
Listen. You must understand the nature of oppression. The most subtle effect of oppression is that what it does to your mind, what it does to the way you think about yourself. The whole cornerstone rests there.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
America call ourselves Negroes and not blacks, and well, here in this country you refer to yourself as coloreds. and so I think we got to understand that like all of us is putting the same trick, you know.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. So we go out on the street corners and we do the same thing. We ask, why do you call yourself that? Why do you call yourself an African American? Why do you call yourself a Latino or Puerto Rican or Dominican? Why do you call yourself a Jamaican? A Haitian? Why do you call yourself these things? So we teach the exact same things. Here's a couple clips of us out here on the streets saying the exact same things, having the exact same conversations.
Because we are black. You see what I'm saying? Because black ain't a nation of people. Where the land of black at? The land of black in Africa? Is there a country called land of black? What's the language for a land of black? There ain't no language. You see what I'm saying? There ain't no country. There ain't no resources. There ain't no military. Who sits in the seat for the so-called African American in the UN? The white man. The white man, Napoleon.
I'm I got my internationality. I got my blood traced back.
Let me know that you dead.
I'm gonna cut off my skin.
Where the land of black?
Y'all mean where? I hear y'all mean where? Right here, more people than
Where's the country called black?
Listen, you not no slave, bro.
black.
There was one person that was a slave. Your great grandmama.
You pay taxes, you a slave. You working a 9 to 5, you a slave. And a lot of y'all working 9 to 5, you can't even afford a place to stay. You can't even afford a place to stay. Man bagging no cracker,
But
man.
that energy though, that energy was gonna scare our people up.
So you see, we've been teaching the exact same thing. We've been sitting up here, we having the same dialogue our forefathers had, and this is why we still in the same position. This is why we still in the same oppressive state. We just higher now. Right? We just more childish now. We just more effeminate now. But we're still in the same position. It's still the same smoke and mirrors. We gotta overstand that. And that's why it's important for you to understand who you truly are. That's why it's important for you to really get your heritage, right? And this was prophesied in the Bible. Let's look at Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
So the scripture says you will leave your heritage. You will leave your heritage. What was the heritage that you left? What was that heritage that you left behind? That you tossed over your shoulder? What is that heritage that we calling you back to? Because that's what the brothers are out there doing. That's what the brothers scattered across the four corners out here on every street. That's what they're out here doing, trying to give you back that heritage. And we'll see what that heritage is if you go to your Apocrypha in Ecclesiasticus chapter 17, verse 11. Let's see what the heritage that we turned away from.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 17, verse 11. Beside this he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
So that's why it's imperative that we fall back to the heritage, that law, that light that was given to us, that law of life, because without it, we're dead. Without that law, we're dead. Without that heritage, without the heritage that was given to the Israelites, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, we are dead. And we're walking with the dead. And with that, we'll say shalom.